What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about KAVA today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at 46 cents, and we haven't moved anywhere, man. This coin has held up better than any crypto. You want me to prove it? Right? Let's look at KAVA real quick. By the way, this is at the request of Find Your Vocation. KAVA, we're going to do KAVA USD versus others, right? If this chart looks bullish, that means KAVA is performing better than the average market participant, and I expect that it is bullish because the average market participant has dropped like hell over the past few weeks. Let's see. Okay, so that chart overall is bearish. Let's be real, okay? But we're on a weekly basis. Since December, you've been moving up. Okay, so it is bullish versus the average, and then that over the months that most crypto has been bearish, you've actually been bullish, haven't you? You've been moving up. Look at that. You're up 9% compared to the average market participant this week. Up 10% last week. Up overall from the lows, which the average market participant in January 27th, they started to drop, right? February was bad for the average crypto. This thing's up 63%. It's outperforming the average market participant way better. This kind of stuff is great because not because it's making money, because let's be real here, it's actually gone down over the weeks, right? It's gone down, but it's more or less in the same area where a lot of cryptos in the same amount of time they've dropped through the floor. They're at their, I mean, they've seen a lot more downside than this, right? There's some coins that I'm holding that I wish I was just holding KAVA for, because if I just held KAVA, it'd be at the same price, and then I could just sell KAVA and buy back those cryptos at lower prices, right? But let's get on. Let's stop talking about myself. Okay, weekly time frame here. Looking at the weekly MACD. Dude, this thing's looking pretty bullish, guys. It's actually looking really good. You are about to cross your oscillators above the zero line here. Once you cross that threshold, that's oftentimes a good thing. Let's just see if we can find an example of that. Oftentimes does not mean always, right? Like here, back here, what did you do, right? I mean, whenever you crossed below it, that was at the bottom of this trend here, okay? When you crossed back above it, that was kind of at the midway point of this trend here, okay? You began and continued to grow. If we look at, there's not really any other time where that's happened, right? Where we've crossed above it, other than right here. Even for this little cross that we had here, that was enough to send you up for weeks, literally from your low. 8 weeks later or so, you moved up 72%, which I don't think that this cross, and the only reason why it was 72% is because that was a weak cross. You didn't really build much momentum. I would think this does build more bullish momentum. I think that you would continue higher. Why do I think that? Because I'm biased. No, because I think that, I mean, maybe, I don't know. How would I know? It's not proper of me to say, but because we're finding support at prior areas of resistance. We're finding support right here in an area that would make a lot of sense, actually. It would make a lot of sense to continue to hold this. However, with a flat base and descending highs does promote the idea of a bearish triangle, a descending triangle, and that could send you lower. It is possible you could see some kind of overall double bottom and form this W shape. It's possible. We've seen that happen before. But don't count on it, man. Again, this thing's rather resilient. It seems to be rather resilient anyways. 12% right now. Others. What's others up this week? I'm on the weekly time frame, right? Yeah. 2%. 2%. And look at that wick to the downside. They went down a lot. KAVA, it had a little wick to the downside in comparison, right? But this wick on the others chart, it was lower than anything they've seen since November. That was lower. That was this week, the average altcoin. Whereas KAVA, it's actually forming higher lows from its December areas. It's well above its November lows there. 46 cents now. Looking at the weekly RSI. Weekly RSI looks to be in good posturing, actually bullish overall. Weekly stochastics looks to be good too. It would be really beneficial, I think, if you can close this week green. You guys, this could be good. There's a few cryptos that we've talked about in like the dozens of cryptos that I talk about on a daily basis, and this is one of those that I'm very hyped up for, and I think it really could perform well while the rest of the market's dropping, or at least hold up well while the rest of the market's dropping. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but this layer one I think has a lot of potential. Just because I think that doesn't mean it will happen, but I have a good feeling. There's a reason why I bought it. Let's see, KAVA here. And I got to thank Hoshi for that. Shout out to Hoshi one more time. Not the most volume, but that's decent volume. That's $43 million on a $500 million market cap. That's not bad at all. Something like this with $500 million that has been around for multiple cycles, right? I mean, it had one bull cycle. It's in the middle of its second bull cycle, or technically still in its bear cycle, trying to come out of that. And I think it will. Those stochastics don't lie, man. They look really bullish to me. And the monthly RSI, it's finding support on the 40. It doesn't look bullish overall, but I think it is. It is. The monthly RSI is kind of tricky. It's trickier than like the weekly and the daily, at least in my opinion. But with a $500 million market cap, if you saw a 100x, that put you at a $50 billion market cap. This thing could go to a $100 billion market cap. It's a layer one. It is in its second bull cycle. This is often the times when layer ones do achieve those $100 billion market caps or more, is in their second bull cycles, right? If they remain relevant and if they look good. And, double bottom, that's not a bad look, man. Double bottom, finding support at prior areas of resistance, that's not a bad look. Let's see if we have any targets that agree with these areas. Then we'll come back to the short-term timeframes. Okay, I know I'm jumping all over the place. We're going from short-term to long-term to short-term, but just this is how it's working out. It's my channel. I can do what I want. The first target here, this is why I really like KAVA. It's not because of its maximum potential. It's because of its minimum potential. Even at a minimum, if it was to see new all-time highs, and we don't know if it'll see new all-time highs, there's no guarantee. But if it was, let's just assume it is, $25 would be the target, and that's a 52x from here. That's a 52, almost a 53x from here, you guys. That's great. What if you go all the way up to your golden ratio? Could you go to your golden ratio? Yeah, absolutely you could. You'd be over $100 billion in market cap, and that's not given to anything. But a coin like this, I could see it happening. Absolutely. It could even go beyond that. But personally, oftentimes, cycle after cycle, you look for something that's between the 1618 to the 2272 for most cryptos. Not always. It's a good rule of thumb, but don't act like just for everything that's exactly how you would do it. It's not that simple. Sometimes you have to do more. When paired with the market cap analysis and current performance and possibility niche stuff, then it can be considered. If this was a meme coin that had its blow off top last cycle, like Shiba Inu, it's not gonna see a $100 billion market cap. That's not gonna happen. So don't take it for everything. But as a general rule of thumb, 1618 to 2272. If you're looking for new cycle highs, this is kind of the area. I have a hard time seeing you get past this 1618, right? I don't think you're going to be a $500-600 billion market cap by the end of this cycle. So something around 86 to $24. I'm confident in that. You're at 46 cents now. Okay. Just to keep in mind why I like this. Again, it's not because of its maximum potential. It's because of its minimum potential. That is really nice. The average crypto is going to move up, I think, 20 to 25x. The fact that this thing's minimum potential is double that. That's great. That's enticing, right? A lot of people make the mistake, and this is where I'm different. Not everybody has to agree this way. I think this is smart to do. I kind of have a philosophy as to what's smart and what's safe in the space. Safe is not always the smartest decision, though if you are being safe, that is a smart decision. But what's the smartest decision might not always be the safest decision. Does that make sense? Like if you're doing the safe move, you're putting all your money in Bitcoin, you're also doing the smart move. That's a smart move. But the smartest move would be the one not that's the safest, but the one that makes you the most money. There's a little bit of luck that goes into that too most of the time. The smartest market participant is the one that walks away with the most money, not the one that invests in the safest projects, right? That's a safe move and a smart move by default. But all I'm trying to say here is this thing is not just, in my opinion, a safe investment because of its minimum potential, but also a smart investment because it literally has double the capabilities of what I think the average altcoin would hope to do by the end of this cycle. So that's what kind of sparked my interest with this thing in the first place. Beyond the fact that it's just been moving neutral, man. Like, this is a good placeholder, not gonna lie. Weekly RSI, we've done that. Let's do the daily time frame, okay? Daily RSI is looking good, guys. It's looking pretty good. I mean, very neutral overall, very neutral. Let's be real. Stochastics getting into that stronger zone. We might see some breakaway momentum take place. I'm serious, guys. The rest of the market might drop and KAVA might go up. It wouldn't surprise me if that happens. Of course, being that it is a cryptocurrency, if the rest of the market's dumping, it wouldn't surprise me if it was to reject either. Your MACD is wrestling with the zero line. You might come up over the next couple days and then come down. You don't have to break out now, but I really like your stochastics and I really do like your RSI. Okay. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, the RSI is probably the only thing that's going to help us here. Looks bullish. Looks really bullish. Let's assume that you do move up. Okay, let's assume that happens. Where would you go? Well, first and foremost, I would think you probably go up to this area here where you found support, where you found closing resistance there, where you found resistance here on a closing basis, something that's at about 53 cents, 53.2 cents. You're at 46.6 cents now. Where is that on this relative fib from a high to a low? That's right at your 0.5. So I think that you get there, sure. But I also think that you would go higher. I would think that you go to your golden ratio, something at about 60 cents to 57 cents, and maybe even just above that at 64 to 69 cents could be on the table as well. Once it comes time to seeing higher prices, moving onwards to prices that are at $1 or more, you'll know that that's happening once you break through 69 cents. When you get to like 70 cents and above, that's when it's time to start getting excited for $1 and above prices, okay? Until then, you're just figuring yourself out. You're consolidating in this range, and it's very possible you could go down. Let's talk about the downside and we'll wrap this up, okay? If you were to go down, and it's possible you could go down from a low to a high here. If you're to go down, you will not close a day above 53 cents, okay? If you were to go down. If you were to go down, as soon as you close below 39.2 cents, it's going to be rather apparent that you are going towards 32 to 27.8 cents. Let's see if that's feasible. From this area here, coming on down. Yeah, I mean that's a bit extreme in my opinion for KAVA. 29% drop. I don't really see that happening. I could see something like that happening, something that's around like 40 cents. I don't know. Hard to say. My guess, and this is different for most cryptos, but I am in favor of this one, not because I hold it, but because I genuinely, it's been very stable versus most coins. I think at the most you drop to 39 cents. If I'm wrong, maybe you drop to 32.7 to 27.8. This thing is not broken if you do any of those things, but it would just be out of character in my opinion. Either way, it'd be a good buying opportunity, and there's a very good chance you might not move down with the rest of the markets. This could be one of those coins that moves up without the rest of the market, even while the market's moving down, or at the very least just moves sideways, does its own thing. But that's all I got for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I see my camera went out. I will see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.